I am going to be going on the road again with Cactus Tate. We will be in Florida this weekend. We will be in Naples, Florida at Off the Hook Comedy Club the 18th and 19th. And then the weekend after that, you can see us in Salt Lake City at Wise Guys in Salt Lake City, Utah on the 25th and 26th. And then on April 30th, you can see us at the Brea Improv in La Brea, California. And then on May 1st, you can see us at Oxnard, Levity Live in Oxnard, California. And then on the 2nd and 3rd, we are going to be at the Ice House in Pasadena, California. Get your tickets where tickets are made. Thank you. Have a lovely day. Here is Bobby.
Hey. Shit. Well, let's just leave that in. Welcome back to another episode of Discombobulated. I choked on my own spit. If that's not a metaphor for how life's going, be like, you spit in the devil's face. You spit in the, and then you go, and then it kills you. You're dead. You don't want that, do you? No. Good to see you. It's almost spring. I live in Texas. It's been spring since 2023, but it's so nice. But it's so warm here. And then you go to other places and they're like, well, the groundhog, he quit and he didn't find anyone to. He didn't see his shadow, and he also didn't find anyone to fill his shift. So now it's still freezing. Everywhere I go, I was in New York City, freezing. You come to Austin, Texas, warm. You go pretty much anywhere, but we're so close, aren't we? We're so close to spring. Ooh, I love when you don't have to wear a bunch of stuff on your body to stay warm. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean, RJK? I know that's not his name. Are you joking, kidding me? Yeah. Do you remember those pens when you were a kid that would like be like and they would like vibrate as you wrote? That's like, I don't know if RFK's voice was caused by a vaccination or maybe like using those pens too much. Just like, my name is. What does he sound like when he talks into a fan? Is it normal? Or is it so choppy you can see parts of the word actually splatter against the wall. It actually splits up the words so much it's like it looks like they're printing a newspaper. A newspaper is your phone, but someone else would make it and throw it at your house, and then you'd open it up and be like, "That's what just happened." What if they still did that, but then it just turned into TikToks, like they threw it at your house, and you open, because that is what it is. It's just a bunch of you being like, you look through it and you're like, I didn't need to know any of that. But TikTok does help you sometimes. I have ADHD, and I was talking to, I was in, where was I? Where the hell was I? I was in Hartford at the Hartford Funny Bone with Emma Willman this weekend. We were talking. We both have ADHD. She's so amazing. We had such a fun weekend, but she was like talking about ADHD. And the one thing I told her, we were talking about, I was like, the one thing I've been working on is put it back, not down. Like put it where it goes, not down. And she's like, yes. Because like I have a joke in my act about losing my wallet. And the other day I was like, kind of expounding on that thing of being like a person with ADHD, like we would leave our debit card like in a jukebox to be like, that's how I won't forget it. Cause I'll be like, oh, it's in the jukebox. And it's like, no, it belongs in your wallet. And, yeah. So yeah, we're talking about that. You forget stuff, but I was on tour. It's cold, and it's hopefully getting a little warmer. Because I'm so much better when I go to a city saving money by walking around. But I had to get Ubers. I'll walk around and take a bus for forever unless it's freezing outside. And I did that thing where I was like, maybe with a hoodie, a thick layer underneath that, and a jacket, I'll be fine. And I was fine and lightly shivering. I got to start dressing like an adult. But I just hate it. I'm like, but I don't want to. I'm still like a kid. I'm like, I don't want to cover up my outfit. And it's like, it's the same one you've been wearing since high school. I'm like, well, I'm poor. And I love it. I'm so poor and I love it. I love being poor and traveling. I have a luggage. And that luggage has 3 wheels, Bobby. They should have 4. I know, but mine has 3. And I pull it at an angle. I learned how to use it, and I was like, wow, I'm so smart. Well, if you were so smart, you'd have a job that I could afford a fucking luggage for your job. Oh. Let's just all fucking take a moment. Oh, my God. Man, I had like the worst flying experience of my life. I can't tell if my glasses are crooked or if my head's crooked. I keep trying to straighten them, and every time I do, it seems like they get more crooked. But I had the worst travel experience ever because I didn't fly for the first time until I was 25. Like there's a group of us that were flying to New York for we were doing like a sketch show that no one came to, and then we were doing workshops and going to see Saturday Night Live and like all this kind of shit. And the first time I flew, I was 25, and I was like so excited. I had the middle seat, and I was like leaning over this woman. She was so scared, not of me, of flying. She was just like, she had her eyes closed. She was just like, oh, like she was like praying as we were taking off, and I'm like looking out the window. I'm like, this is lovely. I couldn't get enough. We had literally when we landed, I swear to God, the flight attendant goes, welcome to LaGuardia, or like JFK or whatever. JFK. Welcome to RFK. We had a slight detour. We're at RFK. I just fucked up my video. But he's gonna find the cure to autism, so that's fucking. But if RFK finds the cure to autism is love on the spectrum over, we should all vote on that. We should vote on if we want love on the spectrum to be gone, wave bye-bye to the most authentic love you've ever seen in your life, or have like a whole flowers for Algernon situation going on. That's what's going to happen. RFK is going to find he's going to find the he's going to find the cure or whatever that you would call it. And then the people in love on the spectrum, they're going to give them the serum. And then they're going to become like us. They're going to be like, you want some of my gummy bears? Look, I don't have enough money to share my gummy bears right now. Okay. Why didn't you text me yesterday? I did. You only texted me 47 times. You normally text me 48. Like, do you want to go look at you? Do you want to go look at trains? No. Do you want to listen to Cats in the Cradle? I don't even like that song anymore. You're like, what? I grew out of that song. Do you want that? Do we want that? Or maybe, how about we can only let a person become president if they have autism? Or maybe we start they're like gummy bears forever. You're like, get this. I would love it. And they're like, taxes, schmaxes. Like, God, that would be so cool. An autistic president. Oh my God. Please give me a president with autism. Are they late to the rally? Yeah, they can't stop shaking hands. I mean, we like, let's do that. Like, everyone watches Love on the Spectrum, and we're like, that's real love. Maybe let them run the country and be like, that's how you run a democracy. Bobby, I don't know if that idea works. I don't know how tariffs work. So this is my contribution. This is my wacky ideas. writing that down. That's a bit. Autistic Presidente. I love you, Bob. You're trying your best. I write notes to myself, and then I write a little note to myself. I say a little prayer for you. Maybe you will get a break one day, but until then you'll live in a stinky apartment forever and ever. It smells like shit, and I'm never here. I'm never here. How could it smell like shit? It must be something else. We're not going to play the blame game, though, because you play the blame game, and all you get is no one's name on the tame name. I don't care. I fucking don't care. I'm in a mood. I'm in a mood because I went to the airport, had the worst experience ever. Yeah, I'm getting back into that. Because here's what happened. I get to the airport, and then I find out like my flight's delayed, but it's not by a lot. And I bought TSA Clear. That doesn't work all the time. And I was mad. I was like, how do you? And then like my ticket wasn't printing. So then finally I have to wait in line, and I go to get my ticket, and I go, I'm sorry. I was like, I know I seem stressed. I literally try to like, do you ever try to be nice to a service agent, and you being nice gives them the thing to be like, sir, and they would be nicer to you if you were mean. So which one should we do? So I'm sorry. I know I seem frazzled, but I feel like I'm going to miss my flight. And she goes, you're not going to miss your flight. And I was like, okay, here we go. Game on. And I was like, okay. So then for the first time, I did sarcastic smiling, which doesn't feel as good to use as anger, but I just didn't want to do that to a person today. I started like noticing people around me watching me like breathing different and like going, you got it. I'm like that. And then she's like, yeah, your flight's delayed, but you're going to make it. And I go, okay. And then so finally she prints my ticket. I run, even go through Clear. It takes way longer. I'm like in line. I'm like, do you guys? And they're like, I know it sucks. Like all this shit, the pre-check, it sucks. So I figure it out. We go through. I go as quick as I can to my gate. She's like, you're going to be fine. So I'm like going quickly, but not too quick. Because when you see someone running through an airport, just so you know, we're all like psycho. And if you look like me running, you're like gonna hijack a plane. And so gonna be high and jack off someone on the so I'm a jack of all trades. I jack off all the trades. What are you fucking talking about? So she says my flight's delayed and I'm going to be fine. And as soon as I get to my gate, I take my AirPod. No, I don't have AirPods. Why am I lying about that? I don't have AirPods. She says my flight's going to be delayed. I get to my gate. They call my name. And they always mess up no one knows how to say my name. They're like, Robert. They're like, Robert Jaycox. I'm like, oh my God. Jaycox or Robert. Rock and Robin, rock a cock and Robert. Rock a rada hoo-da hurrah, bamboo, get it, booty. And guess what? Guess why they called my name? I thought I was the last one on the plane. I was so scared. I was like, great, everyone's going to be waiting for me. How embarrassing. That's not what happened. Somehow, I swear on my life, which isn't, doesn't mean a lot, but I swear to God, which also doesn't mean a lot. I pinky, listen to me. I do not remember doing this, but apparently, who else would have done this? Like, how could this, I don't even know how this could happen. So if someone's pranking me, it's the funniest thing ever. But if someone says I have a cognitive disability, so they were putting me on the plane first. So I get there. She's like, you're not going to miss your flight. And they're calling my name. I'm like, I thought I'm like about to miss my flight. And then it's me and two 10-year-olds. Because like 10-year-olds have to get like escorted on the plane. They're like, here's where you're going to sit. Here's if you have to go to the bathroom, if you need anything. And then like I'm right behind them and they're like, sir, what seat are you in? And I'm like, is there only 3 people on the plane? She goes, no. And I'm like, why were they calling my name? And then I sit down and I was like, I look at my ticket and I'm like, oh, it's because they think I have a cognitive disability. They think I'm flying on the spectrum and they were trying to help me out. And so then I have to be like, well, I want to get this off because the flight earlier Another flight, somehow I accidentally clicked wheelchair. And I know you're like, oh, Bobby, you're probably doing this for comedy. I swear I don't have anything I believe in. So you gotta believe me when I say I did not have sexual relations with a wheelchair. No, listen. So I said I needed a wheelchair. Somehow in my things, they thought I needed a wheelchair. So then I had to call and be like, I don't need a wheelchair because I don't want them to waste their time whenever someone else who really needs a wheelchair would need help. But then you tell them you don't need a wheelchair and they just go, okay, and they hang up. And I'm like, well, I feel like she should have been like, what? Good for you. That's a miracle. And I know not everyone needs a wheelchair like all the time. Maybe it's like you broke your leg, but by the time you book what did I crush myself out of my thing? And I'm like, I'll walk to my gate, whatever. But they did help me. I was the first one on the plane. Me and 2 children were, because they thought we all had the same mental capacity. And I do show up sometimes to the airport high. I might take some gummies or smoke gummies. So maybe someone just one time like saw me get on the plane and then they like put a note. I don't know. But they thought I needed an abundance of help. So that wasn't good. And then we had a connecting flight, and since the flight was delayed, I had to run from one gate to the other. Side note, you don't have to do that. They're waiting for you. You get there and it's closed, and you look like the family from Home Alone, which is what I was doing. I was like running. I'm like, does everyone have their things? No one's running behind me. There were people running behind me who were on my flight. I heard them being like, we're trying to get to B14 too. So then I ran there first. I was like, I'll tell them to hold it for you. And I swear to God I did, but I didn't care. I was like, we can take off with that. I don't know these people. And so we get on the flight and they had to sit next to me. And boy, did they run their hearts out. And maybe, we all had stinky feet on the plane. Maybe it was mine too. So like I'm running from plane, and then you get on a plane, and someone like said when I went by, they're like, we're glad you're here, because they're gonna be a little late now, and they like are talking about you, and I'm like, I fucking hate you guys. So, and then it just sucks. And then I had I don't have all the wheels on my luggage, so it's like the wheels on my luggage are bumping into people. Ow, I'm sorry. I hit your baby's head. I didn't mean to, but I am poor. I'm gonna jump out the window. So, but that's not the worst part. The other part is when I got into town, to do the shows when we were in Hartford, I'd taken a train from New York, and I looked it up, and I like to save as much money as I can. And you're always thinking when you look at a hotel, you're like 6.8, that's over 5. That's gotta be fine. And I got a travel lodge. That I saw on Expedia. And it was about $80 a night, which is as cheap as you can get in a city. And so I was like, all right, I'll do that. It's like it's going to be like $160 for the weekend. And I get there and I check in and they go, smoking or non? Excuse me? Are you asking if I want to smoke inside of my room? I'll take the smoking room. And I'm going to tell you guys this. Don't ever go in one of those rooms again. I don't believe in ghosts, except for in a Travelodge room. And the whole Travelodge is pretty haunted. I went in. Everything was comically off kilter. Like I jumped in my bed and I could feel like a 2x4 in my back. The TV's all... And then I turned on the faucet, and I need a tetanus shot now because there was rust. And then the top of the thing, whenever the water would come out, it would go, and it would shake. It would shake. And I was like, it's okay. It's okay that this is the scariest room you've ever been in. And then to feel better, because you can smoke anything in there. I smoked a joint. And then later this guy Justin, whenever I got to the club, this guy who took photos for us and stuff, he was like, "Oh yeah," and he's like, "I was like, dude, the room just felt sad." And I ended up changing rooms to a non-smoking room, and then even that one they definitely smoked in. There were more. It smelled more like smoke in the non-smoking one. So then I leave, I leave and I go to, I leave that room. I go to another room and I'm like, I need a refund. So that's what sucks about being a comic is you're already not like, it's you have to save as much money as you can because as young comics, you don't like, and I'm not young, but I'm saying it until you're famous, you don't make a lot of money. So now I don't get that. I hate that they're like, you get it back in 7 to 8 business days. I'm like, how come I can give it to you immediately, but you can't give it back to me? And even, how about we triple the time? How about we get it back in 9 minutes? I can wait 9 because I can't come in and be like, I'll pay you in 8 to 10 business days. It really. So anyway. So I smoke in the room and then I was like, all right. I told him, I was like, dude, I was like, keep the $30. I did an early check-in. I was like, that's fine. I was just like, I need a refund. He's like, are you sure? I'm like, I'm sure, man. I'm like, it's too, whatever. I was like, I'm not being rude to you or whatever. He's like, no, he was very nice and understanding. But God, that room smelled and felt bad. Like, and the guy, Justin, goes, yeah, you don't know. They're probably smoking a lot of stuff in there. And then I started thinking about it. I go, holy shit. I only thought about things I've smoked. I was like, there probably have smoked cigarettes in here and weed. I didn't think about all the plethora of crystallized drugs and amphetamines. Like, all of them that these people have done here. And that's why that in that room just feels like people left their soul in that room. Like, hey, did you want your soul? You're like, just leave it in the room. I don't care. It just felt like that. So then I had to switch rooms, and I am so glad I did. I had good sets this weekend. I'm not being cocky. I just felt like I felt good. I was with the audience. I felt good. I even stayed after because I was so tired I didn't sleep all night, and I still went and did like the mic that was at the club. And I had, all my new bits worked. My, like, just me riffing on stage felt so fucking good. And I don't think that would have happened if I would have stayed at that Travel Lodge. I went like 2 notches above, and it wasn't that much, man. It was like $50 more for some peace of mind. And that is a lot. That is a lot when you're like trying to like save as much money as you can. But that's not what I was doing that weekend because I had just so much fun. Because, I was also because I was in New York for 2 nights before because I was going to Connecticut and I was looking at the travel and I was like, it's like the same price. And then I can crash with a friend. I got a hotel one night because we went out on the town, but I got a hotel one night and then stayed with my friend Carly. And dude, we had so much fucking fun. I cannot express to you how much fun we had. I got into town. And I walked around New York City, my favorite city in the world. I don't know, maybe one day I'll live there, but like just when I visit, I cry happy tears all the time. I'll just be walking around Central Park with my broken, they probably think I'm homeless. I just have like a broken luggage and I'm just crying. Just listening to Story of the Year. Yeah, I am crying in Central Park. Did I say Forest Park? Because that's where I'm from. It's bigger in St. Louis, just so you know. But so I was walking around Central Park, just looking around, seeing if they were filming any new episodes of Friends. And I was walking around having a good time. And then the first night, I bought tickets for me, my friend Danny, and Dom. And I don't get to see them as much. I know their boyfriends and girlfriends. I know them better. I've like hung out with them a little bit more. And so we all hang out and have a great time. But I was like, you know what would be cool? I want to like take them out. I want to get to know them more. Let's do this. So like, dude, and I haven't done this forever. I bought tickets to comedy shows and we went out. We went to the Comedy Cellar. We went to the Stand. And I was going to try to go over to Brooklyn, but we couldn't. We physically couldn't make it. And so that part was kind of a bummer, but not really. Everything was fun, but we had so much fun. And I'll tell you what, I quit drinking. I didn't like quit drinking. I was just like, I'm not going to drink. And I haven't smoked cigs or vaped at all. And I tell you what, I was smoking and drinking out of that Big Apple. I'm taking the Big Apple and I'm like, I'm smoking tobacco out of the apple. I'm drinking the apple. I'm swallowing the apple, and maybe in my hotel, I fucking threw up the apple. Maybe I woke up and felt the apple in my throat. Maybe I felt Adam's apple, and I was like, and I threw up. Maybe, because I haven't fucking drank that much in a lifetime. But it was a blast. I really, truly, absolutely had a fucking blast. It was so much fun. And I hope I get to do it. I hope I do it again soon. I always have so much fun when I go there, and there's always so much you want to do, but you can't do it all because the apple is so big. And I know that James had that giant peach, but the apple's bigger. The apple's so much fucking bigger. But yeah, the first night we went out, saw shows, and pretty much all blacked out. And then I woke up and I was like, I'm sorry I threw up. But at least I threw up on the floor of the bathroom, which is the second best place to throw up. No, third. I would say it's toilet. Toilet, trash can, floor. But I couldn't make it. And also for the first time I threw up and my hair was, you can turn it off if you want. This is the story I'm going to tell. But I had my hair in the toilet and I woke up and there was vomit in my hair. I'd never had that. And I just felt so gross, but everyone had their own bed. So no one had to fucking smell me or anything like that. But oh God, I was so upset. And if I'm being honest, the whole next day, I think it was somewhere on my clothes because I thought I only had my boxers on when I threw up, but it was somewhere on me and I took 2 showers and I couldn't get it off. And then I washed all my clothes and hopefully I never smelled that sour. All right, Bob, let's all stop talking about that. So that was what we did the first night. And then the second night, me and Carly Aquilino and my friend Isabel, we fucking went out and had so much fun. We played darts. We made friends. We fucking ate sandwiches. And then I got about an hour of sleep because me and Carly talked until 5 a.m. at her apartment. Dude, her apartment, I can't tell you where. I'm not but it is unbelievably beautiful. And it made me want, I'm like, I got to move to New York. She was like, you should. I was like, that would be fun. But I was getting bit by her cats because she got one nice cat and it's also the mean cat. She has 2 cats. They're both nice, but the one nice cat is also a mean cat and bit me. It could be your energy. It fucking could be his energy too. So, yeah, we were hanging out and I slept for an hour because we were just reminiscing because I haven't seen her in forever. And then finally I was like, all right, we should go to bed. And we talked. And then all of a sudden my alarm's going off and I go, I have to go to Connecticut. And so, yeah, I did not sleep, but it's the city never sleeps. And yeah, dude, we had so much fun. And I know people get weird and think they're like, oh, it's a guy and a girl at a place. Can I have friends that are girls? Can I have that? Without everyone being like, oh, is that your girlfriend? No. No one loves this guy. I'm like your gay friend who's straight but too gay to talk to or whatever. I'm having so much fun in the world, but I am stressed. I stress on travel. I stress on all of this. But hey, this is the life I wanted. This is the life I lead. So I'm here to push. I'm here to push, baby. And man. Oh, dude, I had such a good set that for the first time in a while, because I was hosting. There was a confusion and someone was already booked, and do you know what's crazy? I was like, I understand that, but then whenever it's happened to me when I was starting, they'd always be like, we're gonna go with the other guy. So now they go with the other guy. Is it how I'm not complaining. I'm just, are we allowed to wonder as a person? And so. But Emma took great care of me. I don't mean it like that. I was just so we got switched out. She was like, I'm so sorry this all got messed up. I'm like, dude, these things happen. I've been at comedy clubs. These things happen. So then everything gets messed up. And then, but I host and I'm great. I'm a great host. I like to bring the energy. I was like, how's everyone doing? Talk, hey, keep it going for Emma. All that stuff. And then after the show, it had as the host, I haven't hosted in a long time. And usually people kind of forget about you. But after the show, they're like, dude, we loved you. And I go in the bathroom and I try to piss. And this guy who used to be a pastor would not stop talking to me. And he was like, is this weird? I'm like, it's not weird. But I did think about, I have an idea for a movie that I want to do. And I was like, I'm picturing a guy who's shitting and but the other guy won't stop talking to him. He's like, is this weird? You're like, no. And so he keeps talking to me about stuff. And then he's like, yeah, I used to be a pastor and you were talking about God. And like, he was kind of doing that thing where he's like trying to bring up God. But then I leave. I'm like, thank you. Nice to meet you. Out of the bathroom. And he goes to take a piss shit or whatever. And I go outside and he has a twin that I did not know about. And I see the exact same guy holding a cake and dressed differently. And for however many seconds that is, I felt like I was like, God's real and I'm going to, whatever path this man tells me to walk, I'm part of your cult. I go, are you? And then thank God my brain, I was like, are you? And I almost like touched his heart with my hand. I was like, are you? And then I go, a twin? And he goes, yeah. And I go, thank God, you know? So yeah, that freaked me out. But for like a couple seconds there, I was like, I'm going to believe in this. Because that happened to us once. Me and my buddies, we thought a guy on chat roulette was the Messiah. Because we thought he took my buddy's scar away, but he actually forgot it was just on his other leg. But for a second, we were all like about to sell all of our possessions and cut our wieners off. Imagine believing something so much that you're like, I don't need my cock anymore. I've only seen it on Faces of Death because I had the worst friends growing up. Man, I miss being in sixth grade, just watching people die on the internet and being like, this is friends. And then you grow up and you're like, you hear that that's all everyone else was doing too. And you're like, nice. Everyone talks about the 80s. And I'm like, I would have liked to grow up then a little bit more. Everyone's like, yeah, you could kind of do whatever you wanted back then. I'm like, you had to watch this. Your mom's like, you stay in the basement at their house. You don't go anywhere. You don't explore. You watch people get murdered. And if I call the house, we better know we're there. We don't want to not know where you are climbing trees. We want to know where you're at watching ISIS beheading videos. We want to, that is what, I'm your mom and I want this. And if you love me as your mom, you'll let me know that you're in a basement watching a guy jerk off for one last time, cut his dick off. And then you'll be like, my dick hurts, but then I'm also wondering, like, why did he do that? And then your friends start making up stories that you don't know it's true. It's like, they actually get paid a lot. Oh, dude, I'm going to fucking throw up. I'm going to throw right up. Anyway, yeah. So then I did spend time I was near a mall because it was the comedy club was in a mall and I was walking around. And just so you know, they still got Spencer gifts. They still got Hot Topic. They don't have, here's the only things from my generation that are gone. They don't have Abercrombie. They don't have Hollister. They somehow still have a Sears with, I think, the exact same inventory they've had since I was a kid. I think the exact same racks. They just kind of keep pulling a little bit out from the back. And I honestly think now you can either grab it and go, or like, if you want, you can like play pretend. You can like go behind the register and be like, how many is that? And then you can walk behind the register and you're like, 16. Oh, okay. And then you pretend check yourself out and take it as if you're playing in your room. That's what a Sears is. Those stores are still there. And then Macy's, which was kind of like J.C. Penney's, had like a glow up. And they're like, what about this? But yeah, they don't have that, but they still have Spencer's gifts. And if you buy a poster and the black light doesn't work like you want, you can ask to speak to Spencer. You're like, can I speak to your Spencer, please? Thank you. I'll wait by these. Just strap on dildos, and then you take like 2 steps back, and it's like whatever the popular bobblehead for children is now. And you're like, this store, like, people are like, I don't want drag queens read to my kids. I want to go into a Spencer Gifts and have them walk around and know that they go to the back and be like, don't run back there. What a beautiful life we lead. Beautiful. But that is the podcast. That is the whole episode. I hope you Follow us on Patreon. You can join for as little as $1 a month. So, and it's bonus content. So please check that out. You can also buy merch at my website. You can also come see me on tour. You can shoot me a message. I'll get back to you unless I fucking don't want to because you're being mean or asking me for something. You're like, Bob, don't you ask for something? Mm-hmm. Very respectfully. You guys don't. Bob, do you think you might be being a narcissist doing it? I don't fucking know, but I'm tired of it. That's the weirdest way to plug it at the end. Yeah, it is. But I didn't get all my nutrients because I was at an airport trying to find it and then running in between. Riding along in my automobile, but lady beside me at the wheel. I don't know if that song's in that movie, but movie. That's the episode. Love ya, motherfuckers. Bye.